Hello my dear friends, how do you do? And did you have your lunch today? Okay. And how was it? Is there any special in your lunch? No? Okay, let it be. Today I am N. Chandrasekhar Azad and I am studying in 10th class from APSWRS Sheikhpet Junior College, Magnet School. So today I am very happy to participate in this program on Mana TV and I welcome you to the S.R. Shankaran Super Student Series. Today I am going to share my knowledge in physical science about resistances. But before going to that, I want to tell you about an incident which happened in my childhood. Okay. So today what I will tell you a story about which happened in my childhood. That is, when I was in 3rd or 4th class, I did not remember it. So when I was in 3rd or 4th class, I am and my friend were playing in a field. So at the time my mother was not in my house. And I and my friend went to the home. We were playing with spoons. So what happened suddenly, my friend took the spoon and put it in the socket of switchboard. What happened suddenly? He got shocked and then he fell down. So we were wondering how this happened. We did not know. That's because we did not know about electricity. So when I was in 10th class or 8th or 9th class, my teacher was explaining about the electricity. So I came to know that in wires electrons are flowing. Then I realized that in my childhood that incident happened because electrons are flowing in the wires. So now electricity is very important part of our life, that without electricity we can't lead a very good life. From the ages of past, the people were living without electricity, only with fire. But now we can on the switches for the fans or tube lights and the lights which we are seeing, and you can see me on television because of electricity. If there is no electricity, you cannot see me. So you can understand how important electricity is. So today, see here. So today my topic is about resistances. Now I am going to share my knowledge about resistances. So before that, I want to show you that how electricity is important in our daily life and electricity we use in our life. So before going to that, I wish to show you one thing, that here you can see here in this slide. These are the fans and electric bulbs, iron, electric motor, fridge, TV, electric stove and computers. There is some common thing about all these devices are they all work with the help of electricity only. Here the fans, when we switch on, these fans rotate. That's because of electricity. And the bulbs here which are glowing in our house, they are glowing because electricity is passing through them. And these all devices are working with the help of electricity. If we switch on, the fan will rotate. If we switch on again, and if we switch on another switch, the bulbs will glow. All this because with the help of electricity. Now here we can see that electricity is an important part of our life. So now here our topic, now we are going to know about some fundamentals about resistances, that is electric current. What is electric current? Electric current is nothing but flow of charge. It can be also defined as flow of charge. But in this class you will learn a further definition, that assume that this is a circuit and here a tap key is connected. Here this is an ammeter and this is the cell. Here one bulb is placed or a conductor, a conductor is placed. So conductor is nothing but a device which is used, a conductor is a substance which allows the flow of charge. Suppose you see here this iron rod. This iron rod is a substance which allows the flow of charge. If we connect to this a circuit, charge flow from here to here. This is because free electrons are available in this rod, but whereas when we see this, this is a rubber and this rubber has no free electrons in it. As there are no free electrons in this, the current does not flow in this rubber. So you can say it as insulator. Insulator means the substance which does not allows the charge to flow through it. So here, if we assume that this is a conductor and suppose this is the cross section of a conductor. To understand what is cross section of a conductor, you can see here that here suppose this is a conductor. These spherical structures are called, these spherical structures refers to electrons, and these arrows are the direction of electrons. These arrows show the direction of electrons, and the rate of charge flow is nothing but current. So these dotted lines indicate the cross section of the conductor. And suppose this is the cross section of a conductor, and if Q is the net charge flowing through this cross section of the conductor, and in the time t, if Q is the net charge passing through the cross section of the conductor in time t, then the current I is given as Q by T coulombs per seconds. Here I is nothing but current. I is current equals to the net charge passing through the cross section of the conductor in unit time t, coulombs per seconds. Coulombs is charge per second unit time. So now we can say that the definition of current is the net charge passing through any cross section of a conductor in unit time is called electric current. Then, and the unit, another unit for current is ampere. And it was named of a scientist. It was name of a scientist, Andrew Ampere, and it is unit for current. Then what is this ampere? You may get a doubt. What is ampere? Ampere is nothing but it is the amount of current in a conductor. It is nothing but amount of current in a conductor. If 1 coulomb of charge is passing through the cross section of conductor in 1 second, then a current of 1 ampere is said to be existing in the conductor. So here we can see that, and this is the definition of the current. Current is nothing but flow. It is nothing but flow of charge. We can say that it is nothing but flow of charge, and the flow of electrons or charge is called electric current. It is measured with a device called ammeter, and it must be always connected in series. The unit of current is ampere, as we have already discussed. And next, this is ammeter. Here this ammeter, the work of this ammeter is to measure the electric current, nothing but to measure the electric current. This is the indicator which indicates the amount of current, and it must be always placed in series in the circuit. So here now I am going to show you ammeter. So this is the ammeter. This is the positive terminal of the ammeter, and this is negative terminal of the ammeter. This device is used to measure the amount of current in a conductor or any device. So it is used to measure the current. Now you can know, you knew what is an ammeter is, and the units of current is ammeter. So unit of current is ampere. Now no need of this. And next, let us see how current is produced. Look at this. Here ammeter is connected in series. We have already discussed that ammeter should be always connected in series. This is the circuit, and this is the ammeter which is connected in the circuit. And let us see how current is produced. This is the high potential, and these are the electrons. this is low potential. So when a high potential is connected by a conductive material like this is high potential, this is the conductive material, that means which allows the flow of charge to a low potential. And next, so you can see here the electrons are flowing from this high potential to low potential, and this flow of electrons is nothing but called electric current. And next, the units for current is called coulombs per second, that is amperes. Then the equation for current is I, where I is current, electric current, that equals to coulombs of charge passing through any cross section of conductor in time t seconds is called current. And now here we can see the high potential, these are electrons in this potential, and this is the low potential. So to create potential to these electrons we need an electric pump. When the potentials are equal, that means when both potentials become equal, the current stops flowing. This means the current does not flow. To increase the potential of the electrons, so these are electrons, to increase the potential of these electrons we need an electric pump like this. This can be also called battery. So battery is an electric pump which converts another form of energy into electrical potential energy. Here are some examples for electric pumps, that is voltaic cell. In 8th class we have learnt about voltaic cells. This is the voltaic or galvanic cell, which is a dry cell, and several cells, this is several cells, and photovoltaic cell, here we can see a photovoltaic cell, and generator, it is also an example. And now potential difference. To understand potential difference we should see here that electric potential what is potential? Potential is nothing but strength. My strength is my potential, your strength will be your potential. Similarly, potential for electric current. Here suppose these are 2 points A and B, and these 2 points must be having some potential. How means? See, suppose Q is the charge flowing in this direction. Q is the charge flowing in this direction in time t with, and when this charge is moving from A to B, some work is done here. As you know, work is force, the product of force and displacement. Here suppose this Q is the charge moving from A to B, then a work is done. That work is called, the work done in moving this is called the electric potential at this point. So V equals to W by Q. Here V means volts. This volt is the unit for electric potential, and V equals to W by Q. This means work done in moving a single unit positive charge. So now we know about electric potential, and it is defined as the electric charge, the work done in moving a single unit positive charge, that is Q, from infinity without any acceleration to that point, and it is measured in volts. V is volts equals to work per charge in moving charge. Q is charge, that is coulomb. Here this is the electric potential. Now we have learnt about electric potential. Now we will see the definition of electric potential. See, the electric current, we have learnt about electric current and potential difference. Electric potential at a point in space is defined as the work done, that is W, in moving a single unit positive charge from infinity without any acceleration. That means here no acceleration is needed from infinity to that point. Units for electric potential is volts, and it is denoted by the letter V. So here this is the definition for electric potential, and now this is the electric circuit. This is a battery which is connected in this circuit. So this is the negative and positive terminals of the battery. This is a switch. Now when battery is connected in this circuit, current is flowing from negative terminal, and in this direction when it reaches the bulbs, due to the current the bulbs are glowing. So when electric current is passing through the bulbs are glowing, and these are the electrical appliances which we see in our houses. And next, so here between, and this volts is measured, actually it is measured by a device called voltmeter. You can see here, this is the voltmeter, this is the positive terminal and this is the negative terminal of the voltmeter, and this voltmeter is always used to measure the voltage in a circuit. So this is used to measure the voltage in a circuit. To measure the voltage we use voltmeters. Now you will get a doubt, how can we identify the voltmeter and ammeter? I have already shown you the volt and ammeter. See, in my left hand there is ammeter and in my right hand there is voltmeter. Now what I will do is I will change them. So now can you tell which is voltmeter and which is ammeter? It is difficult to you because these are of same color. To avoid confusion, we have here, in this one we have amps. We can see in this glass that here amps means ammeter. This AMPS, amps, shows that this device is ammeter. And in the voltmeter, in the glass here, we can see that it is written volts. This means this device is voltmeter. And now there is no confusion of ammeter and voltmeter, and you can easily detect which is ammeter and which is voltmeter. Now we will see how this voltmeter is connected. And these are examples for electric pumps. We have already discussed about electric pumps. This is dynamo which converts the electrical energy, and this is the voltmeter which I have shown you, and V means voltmeter. This is the indicator which shows the voltage, and this is used to measure the voltage in an electric circuit between 2 points. Voltmeter measures the voltage between 2 points in an electric circuit, and it must be always connected in parallel. Why this has to be connected in parallel, we will later discuss about that. And this is how the voltmeter is connected in the circuit. You can see here that this is voltmeter, and this is the positive and negative terminals of voltmeter. This is the circuit. In this circuit, the voltmeter is connected here in parallel. Now observe the following things, and you will notice that these are some sort of devices. And can you guess what are they? Yes, you are exactly right. They are resistors. And what is a resistor? A resistor is a wire or device that offers resistance to electrical flow. Means it is offering some resistance to electrical flow. Here this is the symbol for resistance. You can see here that this bulb has this filament. This filament acts as resistor which converts the electrical energy into light energy. Now we are going to know about a relation. There is a relation between electric potential and current. So what is that relation? To know the relation between the electric potential and current, we have an experiment that here this is a bulb. Can you see here? This is a bulb, and now we are connecting this bulb to the battery. See here. Can you notice the brightness? It is so less. The brightness is so less. It's because we have connected only one bulb. Now next, we are connecting this bulb to the combination of two batteries. So you can notice that the brightness is more when two bulbs are connected. So don't fear that I would get shocked. No shock will get me. That's because I am wearing leather ones. Since it is also a conductor, I would not get shock. Don't fear about that. And now we will see what happens when three bulbs are connected. You can notice that the brightness of the bulb is more. See here, it is glowing with very much brightness. This shows that when we apply more potential difference, that means this battery will have potential difference between these two ends, and the potential difference, when the potential difference is increasing, similarly certainly the brightness also increasing, the brightness of the bulb also increasing. And this relation between electric potential and current was given by George Ohms, and this relation between the current and electric potential is called Ohm's law. Now we are going to discuss about Ohm's law. Ohm's law. According to Ohm's law, when the electric current increases, then the voltage increases. As we have seen that when the voltage in the batteries is increased, the brightness of the bulb, that is the current passing through them, increased. And so V equals to constant into I. V equals to R into I, and V equals to we can write it as small I. V equals to IR, where V is the voltage and I is the electric current. Here R is proportionality constant. It is nothing but resistance. This is Ohm's law. V equals to IR is Ohm's law, where V is voltage, I is the electric current, and R is resistance. Now, what is this resistance? In English, resistance is nothing but opposition to anything or to resist something. But in electricity, resistance is nothing but opposing the flow of charge in a conductor. Suppose if we take this conductor allows the flow of charge through it, but whereas when we take the wood, as there are no free electrons in the wood does not allow the flow of charge. And also when we take this glass, this is an insulator and this does not have any free electrons in it, so it also does not allows any flow of charge through it. So resistance, it is the electrical property of a conductor. Resistance is the electrical property of a conductor to offer opposition to flow of charge. And for every appliance which we use in our daily life will have some resistance. The tube lights in your house and the fan which we use in our classrooms and dormitories, every appliance which we use in our life have some resistance, and that resistance is the electrical resistance which offers the opposition to the flow of charges. And according to Ohm's law, we know that V equals to IR. Then resistance R equals to V by I, where V is the voltage, I is the electric current. So resistance equals to V by I. That means R equals to volt per ampere. resistance is equals to volt per ampere, and this unit is given as ohm. The symbol for ohm is omega. This is the symbol for ohm, that is omega, and R equals to volt by ampere. This is the unit for resistance, and ohm, this is the unit for resistance, and this is the omega, symbol of omega. And now let us see what we have learnt. And resistance, this resistance is the obstruction to the flow of current. You can see here that the water is flowing through the pipe, but when we place here our finger, that means we are opposing the flow of charge through the pipe, and this opposition is called resistance. Here Ohm's law, it was given, this relation was given by George Ohm, and this means that if voltage V across a resistor, resistor is a device which offers resistance, we know that, is proportional to the current I that flows through it. In general, actually the resistance does not depends upon the voltage. Now this is the Ohm's law definition and derivation for Ohm's law. The electric current is directly proportional to the voltage, and or V equals to Ri, where R is constant. So far we have learnt about these things. These are the important points. These are the fundamentals of electricity. And current, this is the definition for current. Units for current is ampere, and the symbol is I. And potential difference, definition for potential difference, and here volt, volt is the units for potential difference. Symbol V, here V is volt, and resistance. Now till just now we have discussed about it, and this opposes the flow of electric current, and the units for resistance is ohms, and symbol is R. Now we are going to know about what happens when resistors are connected in series. Now we are going to learn about the combination of resistors in series. Now combination of resistors. Combination of resistors in series. And what is series combination? To understand this, I will tell you one example. Suppose you might be played a game in your childhood that your friends will hold your hand like this, and another friend will hold your hand with other hand. So here, if this is one person, he stretched his hands, and here is the other person, he also stretched his hands, and he held his hands with him. Here is another person who is stretching his hands and holding his hands. Now here you can see that the left hand of this person is holding the right hand of this person. Similarly here also the left hand of this person is holding the right hand of this person. And this type of combination or connection, if you think these are terminals of a battery, and this type of connection is called series connection. This is just an example so that you can understand what is combination of resistors. So now we are combining the resistors in series. Let us see. Here this is the tap key, and here we are connecting an ammeter, and this is the battery, and the voltage applied by this battery is V. Here we are connecting two resistors,